Say your line exactly as I'm about to, just as I'm about to do.
Sure, okay.
Would that it were so simple.
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 My dear boy, why do you say that? Why do you say twere?
Well, you said say it like I said it.
Would that it were so simple.
Would that it were so simple.
Well, that was a scene from Hail Caesars, one of the newest films to hit theaters.
Gotta like when they're mocking British humor right there. Where does the Coen brothers' latest film rank? Here to tell us is movie critic Will Loper. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's no Fargo or Big Lebowski, but Hail Caesar has more than enough to entertain you for at least one viewing. So the movie is both a love letter to and pokes fun at old Hollywood. You've got a song and tap dance number with Channing Tatum, an elaborate swim choreographed sequence with Scarlett Johansson, and George Clooney as a famous actor who gets kidnapped. So a Hollywood fixer, played by Josh Brolin, has to keep all the productions going and keep everyone happy while fending off twin gossip columnists, both played by Tilda Swinton. Now, there's so many fun individual sequences in the film that's enough to entertain. The problem is, they never really come together in an overarching, satisfying way. Each does get resolved in its own way, but I kept waiting for that brilliant Coen twist that ties it all up, and it just wasn't there. Still, if you like the Coens, you like the movie, just don't expect it to be one of their top-notch efforts, so.
But so were you happy? Were you unhappy when you left this?
It was mixed. It was very mixed. It was very mixed. I was happy, but at the same time, I was let down. Maybe my expectations were too high for something like the Coen brothers, so, yeah.
So what did you give this?
I ended up giving those 3 out of 5. Channing Tatum's in a sailor hat out of 5. He's one of the highlights of the movie, so his sequence as the tap dancer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's a switch: Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
Exactly. There's nothing.
Seriously?
Yeah, I know. There's nothing quite like taking a classic literary work and adding zombies to it. So what's next? Maybe Huckleberry Finn versus zombies. Maybe Shakespeare with a Midsummer Night's Zombie. In any case, there's a ton of potential fun to be had here just with the title alone. And Pride and Prejudice and Zombies squanders nearly all of it. So the movie's biggest problem is that it plays it mostly straight. You've got Elizabeth Bennet, she's played by Lily James from Downton Abbey and last year's Cinderella, trained in the art of war and zombie defense. Elizabeth meets Mr. Darcy, also an expert zombie killer, and the two go back and forth on whether they love each other or not, while fending off hordes of the undead. Now, those most familiar with Pride and Prejudice will get the most kicks out of seeing the classic story subverted, although I don't know how many Pride and Prejudice fans really were craving more zombies in 19th century England. So something I enjoyed is the women, they all kick butt. The men are mostly scared and useless, so that was kind of a fun switch up. There's also a great sequence in which the sisters sheathe a number of knives and swords in their corsets while getting ready for a ball. Other than that, the movie won't be sticking in your brain like a hungry zombie for very long after the credits roll, so.
Well, I guess it was bound to. Zombies were bound to collide.
Yeah, well, because they took vampires way back. Now they had to take zombies way back.
Yeah, I mean, and Abraham Lincoln went up against vampires, so now zombies with Pride and Prejudice.
So what did you give this one?
3 out of 5 as well. Zombie Moby Dicks. Perhaps that is the next literary adaptation that can be tackled by zombies.
What you got coming up next week?
Next week we have How to Be Single and Zoolander 2. So.
I loved Zoolander 1.
Did it need a sequel? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out.
One was spectacular.
I'll be hearing all the lines throughout the week, I'm sure.
Very quotable.
All right, Will, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Will.